Hi guys. I'm really excited to jump in and talk about our topic today. But first, welcome back to the plot, Jeannie. I'm really happy that you're here. Let's just jump into it, right? So, do you ever wish that you could just figure out your whole book series, all the big ideas, character arcs, and major plot twists in one weekend? You can. You totally can. And today I'm going to walk through the exact method that I use to plan a full romance or sometimes a cozy mystery series in just a couple of days. Whether you're writing a 3 book trilogy, a 5 book saga, or even a 12 book monster like I have, this method will help you get clear, get excited, and actually start writing without getting overwhelmed. So let's dive in. I'm excited. Okay. First, you need your series core. So the big picture that everything else hangs on. What is this exactly? Well, you're going to have to ask yourself, what is the emotional or thematic arc across the entire series? Is it redemption, found family, corruption, healing? Is this a connected standalone series? So, new couple, shared world, or a linear series, one couple, one plot line unfolding over several books. So, for example, a mafia or a hockey series is a shared world with a new couple per book, but a fantasy romance trilogy, same couple, one overarching conflict. Get clear on the tone, the tropes, and the vibe before you dive into the details. This really helps. I know some people like to skip this step because, they want it to be organic, but like if you want to bust this out in a weekend, this really helps. This is your North Star, essentially. Okay, so next you have to make your book map. What do I mean by this? This is where you sketch just a 1 sentence summary for each planned book in the series. Don't overthink it, just fill in the sentence, right? So, book one, trope plus conflict plus twist. So, that could be enemies to lovers between a cursed warrior and a stolen bride until she betrays him. Bam. Book two, new trope or deeper continuation plus the stakes escalate. So book two could be forced proximity as they're sent on a mission. Only one of them knows the truth. Okay. And then book three, your big emotional climax plus the twist reveal or the happily ever after. So book three could be alliance breaks, sacrifices are made, someone doesn't survive. So those are your 3 books for a trilogy, a dynamic trilogy, right? So that means that you have to read book one, two, and three, same couple essentially. But do you see how you're building progression and emotional tension? That's the magic. And it just took 1 sentence really quick so you can understand what's going to generally happen in each book. Okay, so now that we've got that mapped out, we need to plug in the tropes and the emotional hooks that are going to make the readers binge. So, this is where genre meets strategy. You need to ask yourself what tropes are going to hook each book. How do the character dynamics evolve? And can you tease the next book inside the current one? So, for example, book one, maybe go with the Grumpy Sunshine. Book two, the forbidden romance, where the hero of book two is her ex's brother, right? And then book three, a secret pregnancy plus forced proximity. This creates predictable satisfaction with unexpected twists, aka what binge readers are living for. And how do we tease these in the next book, but like in the current book? Make sure you're introducing these characters in that first book. You don't want to take away from the main couple, but for example, what I like to do in my hockey series is part of hockey romance, you're going to have to write the actual hockey. And part of that hockey dynamic is the locker room interaction he has with his teammates. Now, the setup, of course, is that each teammate is going to get his own book. So if I already know the tropes, I already have characterizations in there where I can kind of sprinkle out throughout the couple of chapters where I am including hockey in order to do that. So, for example, if my hero one is that possessive, grumpy hockey player, maybe his best friend is going to be the older, kind of brooding, person who gets really weird around the book one's hero's younger sister or something like that, right? And so even though we see a little bit of interaction, we can see, okay, his friend is a little bit quiet, brooding, whatever. and he always gets weird around the sister, we kind of already have a setup for that, right? Where it's going to be maybe an age gap, a forbidden romance, because obviously the best friend, right there. But also like you can do that. And so if you know how many books you want to at least start with, maybe four, depending on the nature of your series, you can start figuring out those tropes, right? And if you know the tropes, then you also will know how to sort of hint at the next or hint at the characters in book one and set up the books, the following books that way. I hope that made sense. Okay. So even if each book focuses on a new couple, you need character threads that are going to connect the whole series. So what does that mean exactly? It means potentially a shared trauma or event, like a murder, a scandal, a betrayal, a villain or a shadow figure showing up across books, or side characters that become main characters later. So some things to plan are where each couple starts emotionally, like where are they and why are they there, what wound they're going to face in their book, and this essentially kicks off their character arc. How are they going to grow, and then how their story adds to that series arc. To go back to my hockey example, my one of the themes across the series is found family. So a lot of these players are misfits, or they don't feel like they belong. Maybe they're not accepted by their actual family, but each character is going to have these heart-to-heart moments with the teammates, and they're going to go through their own bonding experiences on top of their romance and character arcs. So if you can kind of layer that in as well, that's going to really give your books depth. And those are the books that readers come back to. And this is what turns your series from separate stories into one satisfying, bingeable whole. So now with that, we want to build our series toolkit. So this is the stuff that you're going to reuse so you're not reinventing the wheel. In my opinion, what's worked for me, make a shared document or even a board if you're more hands-on and visual like that. So character names, ages, roles, location, settings, timeline of events, major secrets or twists, a trope tracker so you don't repeat too closely unless you want to. And this is something that I've come up with only because, you know, very good advice, stay in your lane. One of my pen names is really, really just good at hockey romance. And so I have multiple series in a similar format. And I just want to make sure that if I'm using Grumpy Sunshine in this way, I haven't used it that way in another series, because I want to give my readers something fresh while also giving them the tropes that they really, really love as well. So if you are, again, very visual, you might want to create a Pinterest board for characters and vibes, and it will help you stay immersed in the world as you write. Just don't use it as an excuse not to start writing the books. Okay, and then really quickly, a bonus. If you've still got time or you just want extra credit, try this. Write your blurbs now, even if they're messy. This is going to help you keep your vision and give you an understanding of what your setup is. Usually you're going to find within a blurb a setup, the introduction of either the antagonist or the conflict, and what the stakes are. What's going to happen if the hero or the heroine don't get what they want. Think about planning your release schedule. Are you going to rapid release? Are you going to drop one per quarter? There's no wrong answer here, but having a set schedule, and maybe not even set, but having an idea of what your schedule might be, was really going to help. And then if you're ready, draft book one's opening scene. Strike while the inspiration is hot, right? You don't need every chapter plotted, but if you've got a roadmap, if you've got your character arcs, and you've got your core tropes, you have got a solid foundation. So yes, you can absolutely plan your entire book series in one weekend. Just remember, you want to start with a vibe. You want to build a book by book map. You want to layer in tropes and emotional arcs. You want to track recurring characters and plot threads, and honestly, just give yourself permission to adjust as you go. And this is something that I have really struggled with, is just, if I outline it, I can just, if it takes a left turn, that's okay. I can go left. My characters know what they're doing. So if you found this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's your series about? I love hearing your ideas. And if you want help outlining each book in your series, I've got printables and templates that'll make it easy. Check the links below. Now, go plan something bingeable and make readers obsessed with your world. I will talk to you guys later. All right, take care.